Welcome back. Well, the Hampton History Museum is honoring a local NASA hero, Chris Kraft, with its very own exhibit. Now, here now is exhibit curator Alan Hoylman with all the details. Alan, thank you for coming on
Thank you for
afternoon.
having me on. It's wonderful.
Chris Kraft, for people that don't know, who is Chris Kraft?
Chris Kraft is the NASA engineer that was part of the original Space Task Group. So this was founded in 1958 to pull together the whole manned spaceflight program. And he was part of the original 33 members of that task group, and he was charged with developing mission control.
Wow.
So all of the activities here on ground that controlled what was going on up in space, that was his engineering work.
Such an interesting, specific line of work. Why are you guys deciding now is the time to pay tribute to this?
Well, today is his 100th birthday. He passed away 5 years ago, but today is his 100th birthday. After he passed away, his family came to the History Museum and donated a lot of his memorabilia that he'd saved over his career. So we had a wonderful body of artifacts to create an exhibit. We thought his 100th birthday, come on, we've got to do something special.
Right, and so this opens up tomorrow, this exhibit.
Opens tomorrow, yes.
What time can people come tomorrow?
We are open at 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock, Monday through Saturday, and then we're open 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Sundays.
And in this exhibit, you call him an unlikely space hero. Why did we choose that wording for this?
Well, we think of the heroes of space exploration as the pilots,
right,
the astronauts, the guys on top of the rockets. Well,
right,
the guys that were on the ground making it all possible were also critical, but Chris had a very interesting life. He was born in Phoebus, which is now part of Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
His grandmother, in his grandmother's home, his grandmother was a saloon keeper who could no longer keep saloons. Wow. When Prohibition came. He was injured severely as a child, so he had to overcome all of that. He went to Virginia Tech to become an engineer. He was sick, so he had to overcome so much when he finally ended up at NASA, which was the NACA at the time. So he'd overcome all of these challenges, a sick father, to become this really trusted, successful employee there at NASA Langley Research Center. He actually came home to go to work.
And you know, when people think NASA here, they think hometown people like Katherine Johnson from
Yes.
Hidden Figures. And you know, if you've read the book or seen the films, will people feel like see glimpses of them maybe too, and how Chris Kraft was involved?
Absolutely. Part of the space program was Katherine Johnson and her peers. Mm-hmm. She is legendarily right there to check the numbers that people like Chris Kraft were creating to make sure that everything went just right so the astronauts could trust this very new technology. So we have an exhibit there specifically on our Hidden Figures heroes as well. So they can visit that when they come to see the Chris Kraft exhibit. We just dedicated the Mary Winston Jackson Neighborhood Center in Hampton, which has a whole exhibit suite on Mary Winston Jackson, one of the other Hidden Figures women. So we have a lot of territory that we can cover for folks who'd like to come pay us a visit. You
do indeed. And with Chris Kraft too, you know, you mentioned he's a hometown guy. We have pieces in this exhibit you were talking about that actually, yes, are NASA focused, but there's some that are more locally focused as well. Talk to me about that.
This is really an exhibit about Chris Kraft. It's not an exhibit about the space program.
Right.
Now, he's central to it, so that all figures in. But he went to school at Phoebus Elementary School, so we have stuff that reflects that. He went to school at Hampton High School.
Wow.
We have stuff that reflects that. He moved home to his mother's house when he started working at NASA. We have artifacts that reflect that arc of his life, but the most kind of populated case there is on November 10th, 1965, Hampton had a homecoming for Chris Kraft called Chris Kraft Day. And he went everywhere, and every civic group and all of his old friends presented him with honoraria. And he gave all of that, or his family gave all that to the History Museum, and all of that material is on exhibit as well. It really ties him to Hampton.
So much, and such a cool way to take in our history. And I wish we could keep talking about it. We have to wrap it up. So remind us one more time before we send things over to Taylor when this is starting tomorrow morning.
Starts tomorrow morning.
And it lasts
morning
until
at 9 o'clock. And it will close on the 2nd of March in 2025. We're open for a little over a year.
I love that. Plenty of time to go out and check it out. Alan, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.